Alright, let's get this show on the road. I wasn't gonna record today, but like I need to because I've just been so tired lately. I don't even know. I've been absolutely exhausted ever since New Year's, and so like I think I'm gonna take it easy this month. This first month of the year, I'm gonna take it easy, and then we're gonna get back into the grind. I just need 1 month to take things slowly. I'm gonna post a little slower. I might not even do as many streams because I was doing a lot. I was doing a lot. I was getting spread kind of thin, so I just need a little recuperation here. So, yeah, let's get started. Maybe it wasn't wise to set up camp near the rock quarry. Silence swept over the encampment with only the light scatter of chatter and the crackling of bonfires breaking through the cooled air. Nadja rested on a nearby tree branch, watching over the camp. She often peered up to admire the crescent moon that hung overhead. Nadja closed her eyes, losing herself in deep thought. Her fist clenched and unclenched as she replayed everything she'd done that day. She was ready to burst. She wanted to cry, to finally let go and pour the swelling pain that strangled her heart. That wasn't an option. It can never be an option. You must always live in the present, her mother had taught her. To live in the past means putting your back to the future. It's best to grow for tomorrow than be haunted with what could have happened. As the leader of the entirety of the Sherkarans, she needed to hold strong. But still... Mommy? Nadja's ears perked up, her eyes dart out to the voice. Under the tree, a 7-year-old lioness peered up at her mother with concern. Mijina? What are you doing up? Nadja reached down and used her tail as rope for Mijina to climb. She embraced her tightly in her lap. I couldn't sleep. I had a bad dream. Of your brother? Mijina nodded, peering into her mother's eyes. Why did he have to die like this? I thought we were safe under the low-cup banner. Nadja rubbed the back of her daughter's head in smoothing comfort. This war brings out the worst in others, Mijina. Even cowards will desperately do anything to survive. Even if it means... Nadja paused. The sorrow she suppressed filled her eyes with a glossy haze. She choked on her words. Balling her fist up, her nostrils flared from her seeping rage as she banished the tears from forming in her eyes. It quickly subsides as Mijina chimes in. It's not fair. Nadja let out a soft sigh. I know, sweetie, I know. Nadja lightly licks her cub's forehead before hugging her. But Mommy's gonna end this war once and for all. Mijina pushed away with tears in her eyes. But that's what I'm afraid of, Mom. What if you can't? What if you're gone too? Mijina looked away, too ashamed to show her doubt to her mother. They say the Emperor is part dragon. That he breathes fire and tears foes in two. Nadja rubbed Mijina's cheek to smooth her worries away, giving her a comfortable smile as her daughter held onto her paw with such youthful strength. I don't want to lose you too. A solemn frown curls down Nadja's muzzle before it snaps into a sly smile. What, you don't think I can beat some pansy highborn? Mijina perked her gaze up to her mother, unsure on how to react. This was her mother after all, but the eerie sense of dread had already bled her of hope. It was difficult to understand the odds at this point, she knew. Huh? If he's anything like the shit stains we follow, it'll be a cakewalk, Mijina. Mijina bit her lip in concern. But... Nadja held her daughter tenderly by the shoulders and gazed softly at her. Did you forget who your mother is? I would end worlds before bowing to some pesky highborn. Nadja crackled lightly to ease the tension for her daughter and jokingly gestured around. Hell, if anything is. Oh. Hell, if he's anything like our royal pains, the only action he has ever had in his entire life would be grooming his own balls. Magina cracks a smile after wiping her tear away and giggles. Sounds pathetic if he's part dragon. Nadja lightly draped a burly arm around Magina's neck and pulled her back onto her lap. She smiles warmly down to Magina before extending out her black claws in front of her. Magina mimics along in admiration, comparing her smaller claws to her mother's. Well, it'll be good to know that he polished them at least, because once I take his head, I'm going to take them as well. It'll give you something to play with when we travel back home. Magina lightly elbowed her mother with a gleeful laugh. Mommy. Nadja laughed along with Magina, hugging her tightly while nipping at her daughter's ear in response. What? I suppose I can just pin them to his head instead, once it's on a pike. Magina snickered along with her mother as she rested up against her. Maybe we put some bells in them. Make them jingle when we parade it around our village. Haha, that's my girl. Excellent idea, Magina. That's thinking like a Sharkarin. Nadja and Magina laughed at each other's comfort. Magina faced outward in her mother's lap, staring out to the moon while wrapped in Nadja's toned arms. I hope you win right away, Mom, and end all of this soon. Nadja sighs softly, staring down at her baby girl, licking the back of her head. Hope. That's quite a gift to have, Magina. If not a powerful thing to possess. Magina yawned softly as she rested her nuzzle on her mother's arms. Giving others hope is one of the most sincere ways of having trust built towards you. Not only do you give others something to look forward to in the future, but you carry their dreams, their goals, their life with you when you give them hope. Nadja lightly groomed the back of Magina's ears. But it can even be the most devastating weapon to have as well. Magina turned to stare at her mother quizzically. It's one thing to give hope, but it's another to take it, to rip it away from them. All of their dreams shatter before them, humbling them and leaving them in a mess of confusion before reality finally hits them. Nadja extended her arms out, bringing her claws again, twisting her wrist, and watched them glint back in the moonlight. You dangle hope in their face and crush it in front of them, crippling them as their future is lost. That, Magina, is something only deserving to your most hated of enemies. That sounds pretty cruel, Mom. Nadja coiled her arms back around Magina and purrs. Nonsense. It's how I met your father, after all. Magina gazed her head up in confusion. What? Nadja snuggles the young lioness up and rocked her back and forth. He thought he defeated me in a duel. When he went in for a finishing blow, I countered him and finally showed him just how much I was holding back. You should have seen the look on your father's face when I did. He looked so adorable, all frustrated and bruised up. And he took you as his mate even after humbling him like that? Why would he do that? What makes you think he settled for me? Here's one thing. When you see something you like, don't pussyfoot around it and wish it to happen. You must take life by the balls and wear it down till it's yours for the taking. You'll do the same when you find yourself a mate someday. As well, I'm certain of it. Nadja boops Magina's nose lightly as she giggles softly, watching her cubs settle into sleep. A soft ginger chuckle murmurs around the mighty lioness, whispers into her cub's ear. Till then you can give me your hopes and dreams, my precious little moonlight. Zutter rode forth into the desert with his horse. Dusk nearly ate what remaining sunlight he had to work off of. Drifting storm clouds loomed overhead, making it impossible for the moon to guide him. To his fortune, however, he spots a flickering speck resting on the horizon. He strode with haste to the beckoning light. Night had finally claimed the day, but Zutta held no concern, spotting his lion scout flagging him down.